This is serious. The professor has been captured by the enemy.
What did you say?
We think the professor is being held at the aliens' Earth base near Lake Ashino. The professor is at one of those bases and the others are just decoys filled with explosives. Also, the whole area is wired with high voltage. Touching one of those wires would greatly injure even Godzilla. Move Godzilla carefully.
So apparently we've just moved up the street now to Lake Ashino, and as we move up here, we move to an area that has an extra area on top of what we're already used to. So instead of 12A and 12B, we're looking at 123A and 123B. Oh, the joys of navigating more areas. Oh, well, we will survive it somehow. Hi guys, I am Syrachime and I welcome you back to another episode of my Super Godzilla Let's Play. In the last episode, we went to Mount Fuji where we battled a Mecha-Godzilla who's impersonating Godzilla for a little bit. And apparently in this episode, we are going around trying to find the professor who had been kidnapped and did not have problems with his analog TV, like I thought we did. So yeah, that's what we're going to do here in a minute, but first we're going to take care of these annoying UFOs that I said would become annoying in the last episode. You probably didn't believe me. I'm going to make you guys again suffer with me as I do this. So I guess while I am doing this, I can talk about a new mechanic that was introduced to this stage. You heard the commander say that this area was wired with high voltages, and touching even one of those would greatly injure Godzilla. Now, those high voltages that they were talking about are actually these stringy things that I'm walking into right now. If you go here, they are not kidding. You walk into these wires, you get hurt. Bad. Does a massive amount of damage, so you want to avoid doing that. So you might be wondering, what do you have to do to avoid doing that? Well, like any normal person would do, you want to walk to the 2 points between those wires and knock them down. And you take a little bit of damage, but less than you would if you just walked into the wires. An insane person would walk into the wires over and over like, I'll get through eventually. So anyway, like I said, what you want to do, the main thing you want to do here is try to go around, find the professor and save him before the aliens do who knows what to him, probably probe his insides for something. Try to figure out how this guy is so smart. So anyway, while we're doing that, I will destroy these annoying things. Now, the professor is going to be kept inside of one of the aliens' bases, and he's only in one. And those bases are actually red tiles, kind of like the light blue tiles for energy resupply points and the yellow tiles for collecting your items. He is in a red one, and you might have noticed one of the red tiles over there, surrounded by high-tension wires. Now, that could be it, or that may not be it. There are a ton of different bases here, and he's only in one. So, to actually find which one he is, you want to head towards this yellow tile right here, because this will actually give you clues to where the professor is.
This is what it looks like around the base where the professor is. You have to find him.
So there you can see that the professor is actually being kept at a place that looks exactly like that. So conveniently enough for us, the professor is actually in that area, though he may not have been otherwise. Now, where the professor is will actually vary depending on what stage you go to. Now, I am going to go over there and release the professor in a little bit, but before I do that, I'm actually going to go to this warp tile right here, and I would highly recommend that you do this as well. And the primary reason is to take care of these annoying UFOs that just keep popping up. Die, you worthless alien scum, die. Oh, I could just picture the UFOs and Godzilla. I could just picture Godzilla going like, I am totally going to kill you. Blows his fire breath, and as soon as it hits them, I could just picture the aliens going, Larry, I see the light. And that being the end of them. So yes, anyway, you want to head towards this yellow tile right here because this will take care of this UFO problem right away. You go here, we will actually warp from this area here of 2B over to 1A, and wow, he warped. That must have been the warp item. Way to point out repetitive information, Taniguchi. And what's weird is he's even surprised by that, even though he's seen it before. Anyway, this will warp you over to where the mothership is, and this will allow you to take care of this annoying UFO, and I would highly recommend you do this because if you don't do it, these encounters will become very, 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 very annoying. I cannot stress how very, very, very annoying these things are. You guys have suffered with me through these things, and I don't know about you guys, but I've suffered enough. You might enjoy my misery, but I do not enjoy it, so I am going to minimize it as much as possible. Alright, so as we're going over here, you might notice that there is a red base over there. Now, we know for a fact that that is not the base where the professor is, and I'll show you what happens in a little bit after we actually get done with this fight if you go to a base that does not have the professor. For now, I'm going to try and destroy this mother UFO as much as I can. He would be too high for me to hit. Alright, I'll stand back. No, he's too low for us. This thing will not make up its mind. You know, if you're going to be a jerk, I am just going to be... Oh, this thing is awful. Oh, Larry did a good job training these guys. You know what? Ah! You annoying things. I am going to make your life misery. You're making my life miserable. I'm going to make it just as miserable for you guys. Rise up. Oh my goodness! This is the most annoying UFO I've ever run into. Alright, if you're going to be too... You know what? If you're going to be a jerk, I'm going to be a jerk back. I can totally be a jerk. Go ahead. Lower yourself down to the ground. Coward. Come on down, jerkish coward. You are a cowardly jerk. You're back here making a liar of me. I am not going to end this with a fire breath attack. I am going to just bump you and destroy you like the jerk that I am. Even though I'm not a jerk. But anyway, there it is. No more UFO encounters. I'm happy about that. Alright, so we're going to go down in here and heal ourselves. This area is actually kind of big if you couldn't tell with the extra area added in. And it's a lot more dangerous with these annoying high-tension wires. So once we heal ourselves a little bit, I'll show you something that you don't want to do. I say you don't want to do it for obvious reasons. We're going to move around here, try to navigate our way around these high-tension wires. We will be moving to the base where the professor actually is. But if you go to the base where the professor is not, like they said, the commander said anyway, the bases that do not have the professor will be filled with explosives. And as you'd expect, we destroy this annoying high-tension wire here. It's a good way to get these things down anyway, as I was saying. Now, if you go to these bases where the professor is not, I will destroy this hillside first, because I am just being jerkish like that. Alright, once that is destroyed. Alright, if you go to a base where the professor is not, this is what happens. You step on the base and it goes boom under your feet, and hurts you a lot. Wow, this base is one of the enemy's traps. Again, Taniguchi, repeating repetitive information. Anyway, so yes, that is what happens if you go to a base where the professor is not being kept. And I forgot to mention, you're going to want to come over this way for reasons other than just destroying the alien UFOs. There are two really good items over in the corner, and I would highly recommend that you get those. I will head back towards those now. As I do that, I can heal up a little bit in the process. Taking this rather slow trek. Oh, the joys of moving slowly. But don't worry, it only gets worse because you move even slower through the water. Alright, so we're going to move around here and just keep moving and moving. Well, he might be like the Energizer Bunny. He does not move as quickly as it. Alright, you go down here, you pick up not one orange sphere, but 2 orange spheres. These are really good items, and I would highly recommend that you pick up these items and any other items you can get your hands on. Anything that's not a blue orb. In this particular level, blue orbs are not going to be very friendly to you. I will explain why when we actually get into battle, but that does kind of bring me to a point. You see the course, or after we actually contaminate Lake Ashino. Hey, we're being a traditional power plant thingy. We're dumping our toxic waste into a lake. Well, anyway, as I was saying, you might notice that the little counter underneath the course, the $9.99 sitting there right now, I did not mention it before, but I guess I can now. That right there is actually a counter that will tell you how close the enemy actually is. The closer to 0 that is, the closer you actually are to your enemy. But you will notice that it is not actually going down right now. Now, the main reason for that is because, well, there is actually no enemy on the stage, and it will not appear until you actually rescue the professor. So, whether you want to rescue the professor or not, we can actually not advance any further in the game until we actually defeat the enemy, or till we find the professor. Then an enemy will pop up. For now, though, I'm going to go up and take up my bent-up aggression against things on these mountains. Hope there's no hobos up there. Or, wait, is it the hobos that live up there? No, it's the pioneers that live up there, isn't it? Or is it the hermits? I don't know. I don't really live in a mountainous area. It might be hobos or hermits, or no, it is the hermits, isn't it? Or the pioneers? I don't know. Well, anyway, no matter who you are, I hope you got good insurance. I probably don't have insurance in the countryside, but that's besides the point. Anyway, moving on, away from that controversial topic, probably offending some country person right now. I'm partly like that. Moving on. Alright, we're going to go over here. Now, we saw in that clue that the base was surrounded by high-tension wires, so I assume that this is it over here. And I could have done this earlier, but like I said, I wanted to do this kind of outside of the battle, or outside of the UFOs, because I did not want to have to deal with the annoying UFOs. Annoying things are annoying. Larry did very good at making his things annoying. Alright, so we'll knock this down. Apparently we're going to get hit by some tanks, but we will survive, because we like to thrive and everything like that. Oh, once again, we'll just step on these things. That's the end of their reign. Alright, if you do happen to find the... Where did the tank come from? Anyway, if you do happen to find the right base, we will enter a nuclear silo that is different, oddly colored than before, and the professor will say...
Thanks for rescuing me. They wanted our data on Godzilla's cells. Just like me, they were interested in fusing cells between monsters, especially between Godzilla and King Ghidorah. Thanks to your quick rescue, I got away without their finding out the secrets of Godzilla's cells.
There seems to be some energy stored here too. Let's refuel Godzilla. Alright, so thankfully when you save the professor, you will get a health restore. And that is incredibly helpful, so apparently the aliens were trying to interrogate him, and just us popping up was enough to scare him away. Oh, well, that's oddly convenient, but I will take that. Now that the professor is rescued... A monster has appeared at Lake Ashino. Get Godzilla there right away.
It's Biollante. They used Godzilla's cells to secretly raise him underwater.
Biollante is on the north side of the lake in Area 3A. Alright, so apparently the monster has now popped up on the map in a strangely convenient twist. And even more strangely convenient than that, this thing was made secretly under the water from Godzilla's cells. So, do you know what this means? Biollante is my son! Well, Godzilla's son, but you get the drift. Wow, Godzilla has a son. That is so heartwarming and touching. You know what? This thing was just raised, secretly raised. Maybe we can get to this thing and convert it to our side before it turns evil. Well, you'd never know. I mean, it might work. I mean, children are so impressionable. Surely we can get up there. Even though it might just be a baby Godzilla. Maybe we can get up there and convert it to our side, and we can have a partner to fight with us and do everything. That would be totally fitting. What do we got here? Here we pick up an invincibility counter. That is another type of thing you could pick up in these yellow tiles. So we're going to go around here and collect a few items, just in case Biollante decides that he does not want to be on our side. I don't know who would want to be on the alien side. They are totally losing badly right now. I mean, their most hyper-offensive monster launch to... You annoying tanks! Die, tanks, die! Only good tank is a dead tank. Alright, so I'm going to go over here and collect this item right here. Like I said, I do not want to battle this thing, or go into battle and not be prepared for it. That'd be the worst thing ever. So once we destroy this electrical tower here, we get an energy capsule. Wow, way to not give me items, guys. You guys are being jerks with the items. Oh, well, I'll do what you gotta do, right? Alright, so we're gonna move up, see what we got here, and apparently there is nothing of value here. Well, there kind of is, but we're gonna have to make our way around. Well, they're being jerks with these items today. Oh, well, I don't want to waste too much time. You know what, I think I'll actually go around. I know there's some items over here, so we'll make our way slowly over there. I worry, though, that the longer that we're here, the less chance we have of actually uncorrupting my son, or Godzilla's son again, excuse me. So we're going to keep moving along here. I wonder, if you go to the yellow tile after you've actually saved the professor, will they still tell you where the professor's being kept? Let's go see real quick. I know there's some items up here, so we'll kill two birds with one stone.
This is what it looks like around the base where the professor is. You have to find him.
Totally already did that. Way to be late, guys. Alright, moving along here. So apparently it does. The game does not catch that in its programming. That's kind of weird. Alright, we move up here, and apparently we've run into a mountain, so we've destroyed more hobos slash pioneers slash hermits. I'm ignoring that for now. And there is indeed an item, and there is the pink dot of pinkliness. We will totally make our way over there. Don't worry, I'm coming for you, son. But first we're going to get some items, because like I said, I do not want to go into battle against this thing without items. Here we pick up a green orb. That is incredibly helpful for this stage. Alright, we're going to go destroy this tank. I'm going to go around, collect one more item, and then we'll jump into this battle. I really don't want to go into this battle without an item, so we'll keep moving along here. And what do we get here? We pick up an information tile.
The tiny UFOs seem to be controlled by the mother UFO. If you destroy the mother UFO, that'll stop the tiny UFOs too.
So now who's being like Taniguchi? Oh well. There apparently we ran into a mountain you cannot destroy. Well, I should just, you know what? This thing is proving to be really tough, so we're just going to go over here and battle Biollante as is. And in a weird 2D display of pixelation geysers or whatever, here will come our son. Is it too late to uncorrupt him? Well, whoa, my son grew up. Biollante's acid sap attack is extremely powerful. We should fight defensively. Also, there is a danger of body strikes just bouncing back against us. Be careful.
First, destroy the 2 fielders or you can't get close to Biollante.
Alright, so apparently we're too late to uncorrupt our son. He grew up rather quickly and he's rather dangerous at that. Alright, this is Biollante, our corrupted son, or what was made from us anyway. Don't see how this thing came from us, but there you go. Biollante here has access to one of 2 different type of attacks. If his feelers are alive, he will attack you with a feeler attack. Otherwise, he only has access to one different type of attack that he can use against you. But do not let yourself be deceived by this, because what he lacks in versatility, he more than makes up for in power. Biollante's acid sap attack is the most powerful attack of any of the normal monsters you will encounter, and it will do a massive amount of damage if his energy spikes and he hits you with it. Now, Biollante, another little annoying thing about him, while he's not the most offensive, he is one of the more defensive monsters you will face, or at least what I consider the most offensive one. And that being said, the damage that you try to do to Biollante will typically be cut in half, so you could be at this fight for a while. And that kind of brings me back to another point that I was talking about. Your blue energy spheres are not that good here because, well, if Biollante will show, here we go. The acid sap attack right here, as I said, is Biollante's most powerful attack, his only attack, but it is incredibly dangerous, and if it hits you, you will see Godzilla drop from 503 down to 367. This attack is incredibly powerful, and you need to be careful, and that's why I don't like blue orbs on this stage, because of the fact that, you know, you just basically recover what damage he's done. Now, there is something else jerkish here. If you try to use body strikes, they said that if you do this, this is a bad idea. Reason being is Biollante goes, "You jerk," and hits you back. So yeah, you cannot use body strikes on here. That's the equivalent of, wow, he does not like us right now. Well, anyway, body strikes are the equivalent of the fire breath in the last episode against Mecha-Godzilla, so be careful about that. Now, I would not recommend that you let yourself get below 300 health for reasons you can obviously see right now, and this is why you'd want these orbs right here. You can restore your health, and that'll be the end of that. So yeah, Biollante here could take a while to actually defeat, and it's not too hard to actually dance around this thing if you're careful. I mean, I've beat this thing with nothing but hyper fire breath attacks. If you're very careful, you could actually defeat this thing with nothing but those attacks, but once you're in close, commit to the attack, no matter what it is. Biollante will occasionally go underwater like that. I don't know how, when the water never seems to be any deeper anywhere else we go. Well, like I said, anyway, when you actually get close to Biollante, commit to the attack, and just prepare to... Oh, you dog! Well, he's dancing around me right now. Oh, well, I'll take that. Go ahead and throw your acid sap attack at me. I will take it like a champ, because Godzilla's a beast. Even though it hurts. Oh, well, we will survive with that. Alright, so anyway, you might have noticed that Biollante is not exactly the same creature as Godzilla. It looks like it, but it's more of a crocodilian grass thingy with all the moss on its back. Biollante is actually not completely the same monster as Godzilla. More or less what this thing is, it's actually a cross between a plant, Godzilla, and in the movie it also had the cells of some weird girl named Erica. You guys know how I feel about that, but anyway, yeah, this thing is not really our... Wait a minute, I just realized something. This thing has the cells of Erica. That is a girl. Oh my gosh, this thing is not our son, it is our daughter! Godzilla's fighting her daughter. Well, that would kind of make sense. I mean, you look at Biollante, if you went with just its coloring alone, you could say the lighter skin tone. I think Godzilla's a male. Now, the dark skin tone, the light skin tone, it might be a female. That would make sense. Of course, then again, okay, we're going to move away from that topic now. I just had another thought occur to me. Mecha-Godzilla in the last episode had a similar skin tone as what Biollante had. Was Mecha-Godzilla trying to impersonate a female? Okay, we're really going to get away from this topic now because we're getting into some controversial stuff. Of course, at the same time, couldn't machines be gender neutral? Moving on. Oh my goodness, here I'm getting on controversial topics. Anyway, focusing back on the fight here because that is what is important, not the gender of whatever we're facing. Of course, now that I think about it, what exactly is that thing inside Biolante's stomach? Is that its stomach? It's harder. Is that the place where they make baby Biolantes? Or quit? Okay, I am done. I'll get off the controversial topics. I'll just keep trying to burn this thing, but I don't know how effective trying to burn a plant in water is. The only effective way to do that is to throw gasoline on it. That's bad for the environment. I don't really know anybody that would really do that. Well, I might, but that's moving. I am going from one controversial topic to the next. Our hyper fire breath attack. Well, if we can't throw gasoline in the water, we will just burn it like the atomic bomb that we are. Alright, so this thing will hit this thing, and we'll see just how much damage it does, which is not a lot. So yeah, this monster is hyper defensive here, and it's going to use its acid sap attack. Can't really tell if that's throwing, I don't know. It's going to hit me with your acid. I will take it and survive like the beast that I am. That is kind of weird, but anyway. Alright, I've taken a lot of damage. I do not want this to get too much worse. So I'm going to kind of stall out the match by using my invincibility item here. And moving up my thing. I'm going to show you just how defensive this thing actually is. The tail attack is typically known for being the weakest attack, but at least it does 40 damage to any normal foe. You use it against this Moss Biolante thing that is our daughter right now, and you will see that it only does a maximum of 20 damage. Or a little bit more. Way to make a glider out of me, game. Alright, so we're just going to keep building up. Hyper Fire Breath attacks are the way to go. I guess while I'm doing this, I can say one of the main reasons I like this game so much is because I love the cast of monsters that they actually have here. I love Biolante, I love Mecha-Godzilla and King Ghidorah. Just the entire cast that they've actually got here is fantastic, and even the monsters that come after this are just fantastic. I love the cast, and in addition to that, I also like how each of these monsters has their own unique background when you're fighting them, in addition to their own fighting spirit and rhythm. It's awesome. I love how they programmed this, how they just made it seem different. Like each level is different, and it's just awesome. I love the game so much, and that's one of the main reasons why. But for now, we will worry about that later, because we're going to keep using our Hyper Fire Breath attack. We will see just how powerful this thing is. Go ahead, Godzilla, burn that plant. Burning a plant in water probably about as effective as trying to shock something under the ground, but we'll worry about that later. And here he's going to attack me. Oh, I totally should recover, but I'm going to go ahead and take this thing like a champ. Alright, Godzilla, show us how defensive you can be against the most defensive monster in the game. And the most, actually now I think about it, he's the most defensive and offensive. I didn't think he was, but survive it, Godzilla. There you go. Only 100 energy, but alright, we are alive. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and restore our health back to max, and it's time to do my glutton of a punishment thing of trying to end this on a Hyper Fire Breath attack. You've seen me do it quite a bit. It's not entirely hard to do. You just have to kind of dance around the foe and do this very carefully. If you dance around the foe, play this defensively, there's no reason why you can't end this thing on a bang. But like I said, once you're actually close, commit, take whatever you can get. So we're going to go ahead and blow our Hyper Fire Breath attack and blow up our daughter, being the horrible parent that we were. I'm sorry I could not convert you, Biolante. And there we will see my daughter fade away into pollen to probably go and make more Biolantes. There I go, making controversial remarks again. Okay, I'm done. Alright, now that we've done that, we will see Godzilla blow fire at us, probably destroy what's left of the pollen that's in the air, or maybe that's his way of making the pollen effective. There I go. Okay, I am done. I will quit making controversial topics. Alright, so we received a good health score, decent time score, destroyed a few things, but I love having fun, in addition to some bonuses, to receive 9,420. Best score of the game so far. And this added on top of this, we should get... Yes, we got 2 credits. That makes up for not getting one last stage. I will survive with that. Alright, now that that is over, and we save the professor, what's going to happen next?
I meant to tell you before I was captured, but...
It's about King Ghidorah's cells, isn't it? Well, maybe if you'd let the guy talk, he would tell you. Taniguchi? Only person?
Right. I found that King Ghidorah's cells can store huge amounts of energy. I was working on fusing Godzilla's cells and King Ghidorah's cells to increase Godzilla's power.
Does that mean Godzilla could become even more powerful?
More powerful monsters will appear. To defeat them, we have to make Godzilla even stronger too. I tried injecting cells we took from King Ghidorah into Godzilla.
When did you have time to do that between King Ghidorah's attack and you being kidnapped at the end of Mecha-Godzilla's battle? Oh well, anyway.
Any moment now, the nucleus will cause a reaction.
It is a mosaic tile of Godzilla cells. How majestic.
Look, Godzilla cells.
The energy gauge is increasing. So somehow by breeding with King Ghidorah, we've managed to increase our health. Don't know how that works, but hey, convenient energy build.
If that's so, he could fight even stronger enemies. That was the secret of King Ghidorah's cells.
Wait, so it never occurred to any of you guys to breed something with something else to make something better? Wow, I am on a breeding kick today. Moving on.
I think there are more secrets to these cells. Let's study them a while longer.